Almost done. First reading for ordinance number 2025-114, an ordinance appropriating and transferring funds and declaring an emergency.
Old business. Ms. Frishy.
I just wanted to follow up with the public from the July 15th meeting was when we voted on the additional appropriations for the downtown park, those two ordinances for $3.5 million. On August 7th, I received a phone call from the EPA asking me to call them back. And when I did, I asked what was up, and they told me they had received multiple phone calls of complaints, concerns about health to both the local state and the federal EPA, and along with phone calls had gone to King Environmental. And I said, okay, you know, what do you need from me? And they said that my name had come up a couple times, that I knew where the building went to. Now, I backed up the story to the gentleman, explained to him what research I had done regarding the Rainick site, and I originally, before we had that ordinance, I went up and visited the EPA, was looking for some history on that property. They gave me a little information, wasn't a lot, but there were citizens that had said that that they thought the city and Findlay employees took the building down, and I did not think that was true. So I looked into it, and I explained to him that I found out that the building went out for bid in 2021 by the county. The project said to remove the building, leave the concrete pad, and it had just a little bit of asbestos on the site. A local contractor got it. They did not have environmental. They subbed that part out. The asbestos was removed. It went to the proper site, and the structure did go to the Hancock County landfill. I filled in a lot of holes, I guess, for the EPA when we had this conversation, and they told me this was a very serious situation. I then said, do you want me to give you the information that I have? They said, would you? I said, of course, and I emailed it. So that was all on August 7th. After that, I did not get any follow-up regarding it until August 14th, and I got a call from a different department from the Ohio EPA, just wanting to let me know that there's nothing to see here, everything is fine. I asked if everything was okay with the landfill, with the building going in there, since they did know hexavalent chromium was very high, and we did a brownfield grant. They said everything was fine. They did not want to provide any records or anything, and so I just wanted to give the public that update, because I don't know who you folks were that were filing complaints and how my name got in there, but that is the information I have.
Mayor.
Appreciate you providing that update. I did receive communication from the Ohio EPA, and I'm glad you were able to get some clarification that the city did, that this project has been managed by the city and county appropriately throughout the entire process, as we've stated over the last 3 years multiple times. We did follow up with them, and pretty much, you know, they were confused why people were stating so much misinformation and how they could clarify. All of that to say that one of the things that came out of the discussion, which we were planning to do, but just was expedited, is they have offered to provide us, that they recommended working with them as technical assistant throughout the entire project process. We brought them up to date on the project, what we've done to date, what the plan was. And so don't be surprised when here in the next couple of weeks, you will probably see a request to formally apply for the grant through the Ohio EPA for them to provide technical assistance. And pretty much that just means that they're willing to check in each step of the way and say, yep, you're still doing it right, rather than waiting till the very end. So just reiterate that we're doing everything properly and that we have a great team of people that know what they're doing. We take this very seriously, and we'll continue to put safety first.
Mr. Webster.
On other old business.
Other old business. Or Ms. Frishy?
To follow up with the mayor's statement, there was no false info out there. People totally understand what the brownfield grant is and what it's cleaning to. The biggest concern for me that came out of that is that they are not investigating the building that's gone into the county landfill. And people are just wanting the site at the park completely cleaned. And they did say that they're going to do one blanket of all 19 acres when they are done with the next brownfield to give everything a clean bill of health. I'm not sure how that works, but that's what they said. So there was no false information.
Yes, we continue to watch the income tax. And again, on the environmental, they don't have anything to look into because we did the proper process. And you had stated multiple times accusing us of putting it in the wrong spot. So that's fine. Anyways.
On another note, serious note, August 8th, I texted with the mayor that the Fostoria mayor, city council had a discussion. They were applying for some PFAS grants. And through that discussion, it came up that they referenced surrounding communities not having healthy, safe water as well. So I messaged the mayor on that. She wasn't aware of that. And I know that she has since met with both the Tiffin mayor and Fostoria mayor. But I wanted to just share, they referenced a website, E as in elephant, W as in William, G as in good.org. And you can go and look at your water, type in your zip code anywhere in the United States, and they look at the health safety. So first of all, our water's fine. We're passing the requirements of the EPA. This is some items that are not regulated by the EPA that are in our water. And what came of that when I looked at it, I saw that we actually have hexavalent chromium in our water, which me being so tied in and focused on the Rainick property, that was concerning to me. I then went and had some good conversations with Jason over at the water department. We looked to see where those water tests were done. It was 2014, 2015. We tested at the plant and we tested at Market Street and Van Buren, where they reported those numbers to the EPA. We have not tested for hexavalent chromium since then, and I asked Jason what that would cost. He said it's $100 per test. I asked him what the protocol is, if I can request that, or if there's something we need to go through chain of command. I have not heard back, so I guess I'm asking council just to update those numbers for the public, since hexavalent chromium is on people's plates of discussion lately. If we need 2 members of council to request it, I don't know, or if the mayor has already approved that to be done, and I just haven't heard. So I don't know what you need, Mayor.
I was aware that you showed up to the water treatment plant and cornered an employee.
I
and,
did not,
and
did
in
not,
the future,
did not
no,
change your
here's the-
language. We had a good hour-and-a-half conversation. Well, don't disrespect me when she makes her comment.
If
Well,
you would
goes
like
2
to
ways.
set up, moving forward, if you would like to sit down with employees, it would be more appropriate to reach out to them and schedule time rather than showing up and talking to employees who are unprepared to answer your questions. Yes, I am aware that Jason Phillips then sat down and spent an extensive amount of time
Took away from
in a
his
short, what I will say very briefly, because these are extremely complex systems that our team is managing to keep our community safe. That test is unnecessary.
That test could be helpful to the public since it's in the system.
Long story short, I will be willing to sit down with you and discuss this further, but that is unnecessary. And as he educated you, our water is safe. We don't need to test that. And I'm not going to try to distill an hour-and-a-half conversation, education on the chemistry and management of our water treatment plant and water pollution control
My
facility.
question to you is, what's the process to be able to have that test done, Mayor? Do you need more than 1 member of council to ask
Yes, if
for
you
it?
guys want to appropriate money to run a test that is unnecessary.
$100 per
then-
test. If it's good for the public,
So
for peace of mind.
I would refer that to Appropriations Committee if you're looking for money to be spent. There you go.
Well, there could be 2 members of
Thank you.
council
Mr.
that can
Baumann.
request. course.
I would like to call a planning and zoning committee meeting on September 18th